It's a wonderful Thursday evening. The sunlight behind me. It's gonna go live on my Instagram like I usually do. It's saying it's paused due to a poor connection. It did this last week, but I'm just gonna keep going and let it do its thing. It'll either catch up or it won't. So, how the devil are you all? I hope you're all okay. The topic that I'm going to talk about this week is all around confidence and self-esteem, and what's the difference and what? Because this was requested by somebody, and I think it's a really good topic. Somebody's watching me. Hello, whoever you are. You've not given Ecam permission, so I don't know who it is. But somebody's watching, so thank you for that. So yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about what they are and what's the difference between them. So first off, what is confidence? I see it's Steph. Hi, and hi Tam. So we've got Steph and we've got Tam. If I lose my thread, then I'll just start from the beginning again. I've got some notes at the sides because literally chemo brain is still alive and kicking. But we'll keep going. So what is confidence? I see confidence as an external thing and something that we can build through increasing our knowledge or our skills and those sort of things. Whereas self-esteem is more of an internal thing. It's more about our self-worth and how we value ourselves and, you know, putting personal boundaries in place and how we respect ourselves and all that sort of stuff. So it's a bit more deep rooted to me, self-esteem. Confidence is one of those things that we can fake it until we make it. Whereas self-esteem, it's that little voice inside of our head and how we talk to ourselves a lot of the time, that internal dialogue and all that sort of stuff. So, confidence is a belief in one's own abilities, qualities, or judgments, and it can be a feeling of self-assurance, self-confidence, or self-trust. Confidence can be a positive trait that helps people achieve their goals, take risks, and navigate challenges with ease. Whereas self-esteem is basically how you see yourself and how much you value yourself. So it's definitely coming from the inside. If you're always putting yourself down, and feeling like you're not enough or worried that other people don't like you, your self-esteem isn't very high. Whereas if you're proud of what you've done, you're proud of your achievements, then you know your self-esteem is high and it's quite robust, which is brilliant because that's what we're all aiming for, or what we should be aiming for. And it's you know, it's good to know that we're not always going to have a robust, you know, self-esteem and be resilient or, you know, highly confident all the time, and we're not going to be at the bottom all the time. It ebbs and flows. Our state of mind is constantly shifting. I often talk about it like being on an escalator, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not, and that's absolutely perfectly normal. That's how it is for most of us, well, all of us actually. And it shifts moment to moment. It's not necessarily, you know, on a Monday I felt really positive, but on a Tuesday I felt a bit, you know, naff. It can literally be moment to moment where our state of mind shifts, and that will affect our confidence and our self-esteem. So just be mindful of that. So how are they related? If our confidence is high, it's easier to work on our self-esteem, and if our confidence is low, that's going to impact on our self-esteem. So the two of them, hi Louise, are kind of interlinked. They are connected, and one does feed off the other one. I've messed about with my little thing again. I do this every time. I don't even know why I keep my mouse over it. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to move my mouse out of the way. So yeah, when a person's self-esteem is high, they tend to feel good about themselves and their abilities, and this in turn can boost their confidence. Whereas on the other hand, when a person's, you know, self-esteem is low, then that's going to affect their confidence and the way that they think about themselves and their abilities. You're not going to push yourself out of your comfort zone if your, you know, self-esteem and your confidence isn't very high. So it's just about being aware of that. So what I wanted to talk about is give you a few tips on how we can increase our confidence and self-esteem and what we can do. There's quite a few, so I'm just going to run through them. Some of them will resonate with you and some of them won't. So, top 10 tips on building self-esteem. Practice self-compassion. One of the things when we've got that negative Nelly in our heads and we're constantly giving ourselves a hard time over it, is it does affect our confidence and our self-esteem. So it's about being compassionate with ourselves and understanding that, in this moment, we're doing the best that we can with what we've got available. The last thing that we need when our confidence and our self-esteem has took a hit is us being critical and judgmental of ourselves. And often we wouldn't do that to other people, but yet we find it quite easy to do it to ourselves. So treat yourself with kindness and compassion, just as if you would treat a close friend or a family member that are going through something. Yeah, just be compassionate. Challenge your negative beliefs. I always talk about taking them to court. If you've got something running through your mind that I always do this, I always fail at everything I try to do, whatever it is, take it to court, because there will be some time where you've not failed at it, where it's the first time you've done it and you succeeded. It's just that we don't remember it a lot of the time. Our survival depends on us, focusing and remembering the bad stuff, because that's going to keep us alive. If we were focusing all the time on all the positive things, that doesn't help us with our survival. It helps us with our confidence and our self-esteem, but it won't necessarily keep us alive if we need to do it, if that makes sense. Focus on your strengths. Again, we tend to overlook the things that we're good at and we focus on the negatives. We focus on the things that we're no good at rather than focusing on the things that we can do and that we can achieve. So focus on your strengths and your accomplishments and remind yourself of these positives as often as you can. Challenge that negativity. Accept compliments. I went to something in Manchester, I've just had my tea, a couple of weeks ago called Be Inspired. And one of the things that Danny Wallace, who ran it, was talking about was how we find it difficult to accept compliments. Generally, people in general find it hard. What do we do when somebody pays us a compliment? And what she said is to just say thank you. I know it's not something that I've done, but I am starting to practice at it. So if somebody says to you, I don't know, you look absolutely fantastic and the talk that you gave just hit the right spot and it was absolutely brilliant. For me to turn around and say, thank you, I know, it doesn't feel quite right. But that's how we should receive a compliment. Or just say thank you. If you don't want to do the I know bit, then just acknowledge it and say thank you. If somebody says, oh, you look really nice in that top, we'll kind of go, oh, this old thing, I've had it for ages. Just acknowledge it and say thank you. Thank you for noticing. That means a lot. Whatever. Practice self-care. Taking care of your physical, emotional and mental health can help you feel better about yourself and increase your self-esteem. Absolutely. I talk about this again an awful lot of time. Self-care is not selfish. Self-care is imperative. We need to be the top of our priority, because if we go under, we can't do the job that we want to do. We can't help other people. We can't serve other people. We're not a good parent if we're not in a good frame of reference. So we need to prioritise ourselves, and that can be uncomfortable for a lot of people. Set boundaries. Set healthy boundaries. Saying no to everything that isn't healthy. It's about us setting healthy boundaries, what's acceptable and what's not. Set healthy boundaries in your relationship and in your work life. I've had quite a few clients come to me recently about issues around work and being stressed at work and feeling overwhelmed and everything. And one of the first questions, they were 5 or 10 years, it's like a long time since they've applied for it and they might not have been updated. So, things change. What are your working hours? And if they're 9 to 5, do you stick to that? Do you go to work early and finish later? And, what are you getting out of that? So it's about you setting your own boundaries on what's acceptable for you. And this can help avoid burnout and maintain a healthy work-life balance. Because if we're working more than what we should do and not getting recognised or validation for it, we're going to get pretty peeved off about it, which again is going to affect our self-esteem and our confidence. Seek out positive relationships. Don't be around toxic people, because they're just going to Oh, hi, there's more people here. I'm not paying attention to this. We've got Ruth here. Hi, Ruth. And we've also got Jean as well. Thank you so much. I'm sorry. I don't scroll on my notifications, so I don't actually know who's listening. I will scroll a bit more often. Yeah, what was I talking about then? Yeah, seek out positive relationships. Toxic relationships are... they can cut through our confidence and our self-esteem in one foul swoop. So yeah, be around positive people. Be around people that lift us and support us and encourage us, to be the best that we can be. Don't worry. Oh, thank you, Jean. You're so kind. You've always got positive words. I love that. Practice mindfulness. This is something that some people struggle with. Being mindful is just being present in the moment without judgment. And it's that without judgment bit that I think is really important around mindfulness. This can help reduce stress and develop a greater sense of awareness, as just noticing our thoughts and where they are, noticing whether they are negative, and picking yourself up on it. And again, challenging those negative thoughts and taking them to court. Celebrate successes. This is something I wasn't very good at doing. I'm getting better at doing it. But even the little things, I think it's because when I was growing up, it was seen as big-headed if you blow your own trumpet or you talk about the things that you're positive in. But there's absolutely nothing wrong in doing that. Celebrate your successes, no matter how small. Acknowledge your accomplishments and use them as a sort of inspiration and motivation. Because if we've achieved something and we've done good, we're more likely to do more of it, which in turn is going to increase our confidence and our self-esteem. So the things are a little bit different for self-confidence because that's about building up skills. We've looked at the internal stuff and what we can do, for our internal things that's all to do with our self-esteem. So self-confidence is more about the external things. Practicing self-care, taking care of our physical, emotional and mental health can help us, boost our confidence. So going to the gym, I don't do the gym. Well, I do the gym, but not in the gym. I do aqua aerobics. I go in the pool and I do my aqua aerobics. And when I've done it, it does make me feel better. I know it does. I know it helps with my mental health. I know it helps with my physical health. Challenge that negative self-talk again. Pay attention to our inner dialogue and what that voice is actually saying and challenge it. Focus on your strengths. Again, they're quite similar, but these are looking externally. Trying something new. Challenge yourself to do something new and something different. Push yourself out of your comfort zone. Set achievable goals. Set goals that are achievable and realistic because, again, accomplishing something is going to encourage you and motivate you to want to do more of it. Visualize your success. Visualize what it's like to succeed. I know I keep saying it and I've not done it yet. I want to do the Couch to 5K and I have often visualised how I would feel if I've done it. My daughter, bless her heart, is doing one of the 5K walks for cancer over in Madrid. And I'm going to do it over here. I'm not going to run because I can't run. I might do a bit of jogging. I'm working up to it. But I have visualised what it would be like if I actually, do that 5 kilometre jog, walk, whatever it is. Take small steps. Break the bigger goals down into smaller steps so that they're more achievable. Practice gratitude. This is something, people think, what's the point in that, being positive about things? Take time to appreciate the good things in your life and focus on what you're thankful for. It does help, particularly with your self-esteem, if you're focusing on the things that you have, your abilities and the things that are positive in your life. It does help. It's gonna make you appreciate the good stuff more and challenge the negative stuff with ease. Look for support. Again, don't be around toxic people. If you need some support, whether that's from a mentor or a coach or a therapist or whatever it is, somebody that's got your back, that's in your corner and that's going to help you build your own confidence and self-esteem. And the other thing, which might be a bit of a blindsided thing, is to embrace failure. Remember that failure is part of the learning process. So when we're trying to particularly build our self-confidence and we're pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone and doing new things, We're not going to get it right all the time. And it's about embracing that as part of the, the learning curve. And it's an opportunity to learn and an opportunity to grow. I often say to clients when they're questioning all of this, what would you say to a kid if one of your kids was learning something new? Would you criticise them if they got it wrong, or would you encourage them to keep trying, and that, don't expect to know it straight off? We've all got to learn how to do new things. We're not going to pick it up straight away. So I hope that's helped. The overriding thing for me is that self-esteem is an internal thing about how we feel about ourselves, how we are in the world around us, whereas confidence is more of an external thing. We can build our confidence by, pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone and, taking on a new skill or a job promotion, all that sort of stuff, how we feel about ourselves. And that's quite easy to take a knock dependent on where we are. So yeah, that's this week's little pep talk from the Sorting Shack. If you've got any topics that you want me to cover, if there's anything else that you want me to do, then, just comment below, or you can private message me, or you can email me, jackie@jackiejones.co.uk, and just let me know. I'm quite happy to cover most things. Other than that, I shall see you all at the same time, 7 o'clock next Thursday. Yes, the Thursday after I won't be doing this because I'm going to be in there London. But yeah, that's why I stopped then, because I'm here next week, but I'm not here the week after. But I can talk about that next week. Other than that, have a fantastic week and enjoy the sunshine while it's here. Speak soon.